And good morning, good morning from all around the world. I want to welcome you to this Friday Live. My name is Kunle Ologe, marriage counselor and founder of the Marriage Seal Academy. And every Friday, we come to you with a video on marriage, teaching you something in your marriage, something to help you, something to hold you together, something to make your marriage grow. And I'm very excited to be here with you again today. So every Friday, same time, 11 a.m., we're here live on YouTube. Have you subscribed to this YouTube channel? If you've not yet subscribed to this YouTube channel, then please go ahead and do so. Subscribe to the channel, click the notification button so that you can get our videos every time we go live. And I'm excited to have every one of you here. And wow, there are already many people seated and waiting as usual. And I have the usual people. Cordelia was the first to be here. Kristen, Deborah, Sonny, my man, Omar, Isioma, Mercy, Tessie, Pearl, Miriam, Anthony, Debbie. How you doing, Debbie? And it's so good to have every one of you here. Have you invited somebody? Has somebody come to be part of this with you? If you've not yet invited anybody, then please send out this link far and wide and let everybody know that we have started again talking about marriage. So today, we're going to be talking about how social media affects your marriage. How social media affects your marriage. And I want you to listen very, very well, because this is something that is really affecting marriages today. So please follow me as we go through these lessons so that we can get things right when it comes to social media. And yes, I see Amy saying that I have invited. Thank you, Amy, for inviting, and thank you for every one of you who have invited family and friends. So now you need to understand that in this contemporary world right now, social media has become an integral part. It's no more things that, I don't know how many of you remember in those days, social media was Facebook, Yahoo. Well, could you even call Yahoo social media? Maybe the highest was Facebook. That was what you could term as social media. But even as at then, Facebook was not a serious thing. But today, it has become something that even determines the presidency of America. You remember that issue when we had that last election in America, when Facebook was accused of allowing data to be used and people's names and all of that to be used? So that is how social media has grown. And yes, Debbie, you remember Yahoo Messenger. That was the greatest. You send messages to each other using Yahoo Messenger. And in those days, at least in this part of the world, you had to go into a cyber cafe. How many of you remember cyber cafes? How many of you have ever gone to a cyber cafe recently? Again, I think that business, I don't know, but I don't know if that business still exists. Because right now you have social media on the palms of your hands in the form of your phones. So social media has grown, and it is no more something that you will say you are not a part of. It's something that everybody is a part of now. I mean, almost everybody is a part of social media. And yes, somebody remembers cafe. Someone even named the place. Debbie even remembers, say, Cyber Cafe opposite J Close. Dr. Happiness, you remember? We bought time in Cyber Cafe to access the internet, and they'll give you those slips that you need to go and key in, to access the internet. That was how we were able to actualize connecting on social media. There's no more like that. It's right now in your hands. Now, social media has its pros and cons. The truth of the matter is that social media is supposed to be a tool. But social media also has the cons, where it actually can mess up your life, mess up your marriage. So it is important for us to talk about this very important aspect of communication. And yes, social media is a big aspect of communication. And you know that in marriage, communication is a big deal. When you don't have the right communication in marriage, you will have the wrong communication and it will mess up your relationship. So social media is part of communication and we cannot ignore it, but we must face it. For any successful marriage, communication is a cornerstone. And so we must build on that cornerstone of communication and continue to build on it in all aspects as it comes. We are talking about social media. You see how we have spoken about it from cyber cafe to the palms of your hands. Now you have Google glasses. So you don't even need to hold a cell phone. Very soon, who knows, we're going to have you seen those ones that, come off on your hand? So technology is growing every day, and we must be able to grow with it, but we must be able to be responsible in growing with technology. So the regular traditional ways of communication has been somewhat disrupted by social media. Now, nowadays, with platforms like Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp. Oh, WhatsApp is another very, very powerful social media platform. Probably the most powerful. I don't know. You may correct me. But I think it's so powerful now. Because with WhatsApp, you are creating communities, talking to each other freely, real time. And that is a lot. It's helping a lot of marriages, especially when you travel, for instance, or you're at work. You can communicate with each other without making phone calls. You're able to talk on social media and communicate. So that's why communication on social media is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But it is how it is used that is the problem. How it is used. So it can enhance communication, but at the same time, it can bring big misunderstanding in communication. Have you ever experienced misunderstanding in communication because of social media? You know how you type something to somebody and then the person misinterprets it. Whereas if you are sitting with that person and you are talking to the person and telling the person the same thing, the person will get you. But when you type it, that person misinterprets you and you are wondering, how did you get from A to Z? But that's social media for you. That is social media for you. So misinterpretation can happen just as good as it enhances communication. Now, let's look at some general positive aspects of social media. So let's take a look at it so that it will help us to appreciate that social media is actually a very powerful tool. And I want you to follow me very carefully, because erroneously also some people have said, oh, nobody should be on social media, go off social media. I even watched a video once when somebody was preaching and said that we should not use smartphones. The person was saying, don't use smartphones, use what you people call palasa phones, right? Those ones that can just call out and call in. But the person was saying it on a social media platform. Did you get that? So the person was saying, don't use phones that have social media on them. Don't use smartphones. They're dangerous. They're the device of the devil. The devil is using it. So everybody should go and buy a phone that does not have social media. But the person that was preaching this was preaching it on social media. So that's an irony, big irony, yeah, a very big irony. So let's not vilify social media as a whole. Yes, there are some parts of it that are dangerous, but there are so many parts of it that are also very, very useful. Right now, I'm talking to you on social media. You're all watching me on social media. YouTube is social media. So social media in itself is not bad, but how it is used. So let's look at some positive aspects of social media communication. Number one, social media can strengthen marital bonds by providing platforms for couples to share their lives with each other. So it can actually strengthen marital bonds. That's the first one. Because it gives you a platform for you and your spouse to share your lives together. For instance, you are in the office, your spouse is in his own office or her own office, and you can communicate with each other and tell each other what is happening in real time. You can even do video call and say, right now, I'm just taking coffee, I'm taking my break right now. Oh, I just have this document. Can you see my table? My table is so full. I don't even know what to do. I'm confused. And that your spouse can say, oh, don't worry. Just be calm. Can you see those papers that are scattered? Can you all put them in? Can you put all of them in a pile first and then take them one after the other? That's strengthening bonds, because when you do that for each other, you're kind of together all the time. So social media. All right, a little glitch there. So in fact, if for any reason a husband and a wife are not together, maybe for reason of work, you went for a conference, you traveled somewhere, and you are not together, social media can make both of you connect even with that distance space. Let me quickly say here at this point, please understand that marriage was not designed for husband and wife to live separately. When I say live separately, I mean live in different cities, different countries, different towns. That's not the original design of God. The original design of God is that husband and wife should live together. But there are some times when it's kind of inevitable, and I'm talking about the ones that are inevitable, not the ones that are man-made. That one person Japan and the other person is here in Nigeria is man-made. You could have both Japan or both been in Nigeria, but both of you decided that one person should go and one person should stay. It was not by force. It was a choice. Those kind of choices are the ones that are dangerous. If, for instance, one of you is a military personnel and cannot determine where he or she is posted, that is the one that you can't control. And that one, well, there's really little you can do to it, except use platforms like social media to keep your communication up, because marriage is about communication. Marriage is about communication. If your communication is poor in marriage, your marriage is poor. Take that from me. If your communication in marriage is poor, your marriage as a whole is poor. So social media can help to strengthen the bond between a husband and a wife, especially when they are apart from each other. And this happens daily when both of you go to work, or someone goes out shopping, or someone goes, it just helps you stay together. It helps you stay together. And my beautiful yellow wife is here. Thank you, Wendy Ologe. Marriage is about communication. If your communication in marriage is poor, your marriage is poor. Simple and short. And what's the definition of the communication being poor? The definition of communication being poor, when you want to say something, you are very careful. You don't know how to say it to your husband or to your wife. Number two, you people hardly talk. You only talk about transactional things like school fees, what to eat, where to go. Number three, there is malice keeping and stonewalling. So once one person gets angry, he shuts out the other person or she shuts out the other person. All these things and many more show you that your communication is poor. If you cannot be on a flight for 6 hours, for instance, and talk all through, you and your spouse, your communication is poor. If in that 6 hours, you only talk for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, sir, ma, your communication is poor. And don't argue it, because people who have good communication, they talk. They talk continuously. So your communication is poor. Okay, so let's carry on. The second positive aspect of social media communication is that when you post pictures of each other, share posts about each other, you create a sense of partnership in public, and that can affirm you as a couple. You see, why is it that when you're advised when you go to church, go together, sit together, and do things together? Why? Yes, you are showing the world that you are together. At the same time, it's helping you to know that this is my husband, this is my wife. So it helps to affirm you every time you show yourself in public together. Same thing on social media, because social media is a public space, is a highway, is a complete highway. I spoke more about social media in my new book. So I have a book that is coming up. It's going to be released on the 23rd of this month. That is when it is. Well, two books actually. That's when they are coming out. And one of the books is on communication. Yeah, that's it up there. So one of the books is on communication, and that is that white book, What Your Spouse Is Not Telling You. So what your spouse is not telling you is a comprehensive dossier of communication in marriage, and it gives you everything you need to know about communication: what makes it good, what makes it bad, what to communicate, when to communicate, how to talk about hard issues in marriage, how to get your husband or your wife to talk. All this and many more are in the book, What Your Spouse Is Not Telling You. And I have a whole chapter on how to actually manage social media, how social media affects marriage. There's a whole chapter on it. You want to get that book, it will give you details. In this 1 hour, I'm going to try to just give you some tips here and there, but a comprehensive write-up on what we are talking about today is right now on that book. And the book is on pre-order right now. Okay, so you get it cheaper than you will get it when it is launched. You get this book at the bundle, so they're coming as a bundle. Okay, so a bundle of one together. So two books at the price of one, you can almost say that. So it's coming at 14,000 naira for the two books. But once it is launched on the 23rd, once it's the 23rd, it moves to 16,000 naira for two books, for both books. That's 8,000. But now you can get them for 7,000. And there was a flash sale in case you missed it and you're wondering, oh, why didn't we get it cheaper? Yes, there was a flash sale, a 24-hour flash sale, and we had hundreds of people paying for the book at the flash sale. Where were you? Why didn't you hear? So at that flash sale, they paid 12,000 naira for the bundle. Now you have the second opportunity to pay just 14,000 naira for the bundle instead of paying 16,000 naira. Please take that opportunity and grab the book, because there is too much on communication that you need to learn on the book. Of course, the second book is called Marriage Stories, and that is a very exciting book where I put together stories on marriage. Yes, I put together stories, different stories that I wrote on marriage that will entertain you and educate you. Those two books are books that you must get. But let's go back to what it is that we were talking about. So I said posting pictures and so on is a good way of actually affirming each other as a couple. So that is one of the positive sides of social media again. Let's move on. The next positive aspect of social media is that it can serve as modern love letters. Yes, social media can serve as modern love letters. In times past, love letters were used to communicate affection. And do you know that love letters are still one of the most romantic ways of communicating affection? There's a difference between when someone says, I love you, that's nice. But when someone writes it and scripts it and uses some words, the first thing is that when you open up that letter, you first see the person that is from your spouse, of course. By the time you see the handwriting, you know that it's from your spouse. You know the identity. It excites you. Then the next thing is you now start reading the words that are supposed to be very nice and lovely. And then you start imagining, where was he or where was she when this thing was being written? Was he sitting? Was she standing? Was she smiling? It just gives you an opportunity to imagine, fantasize. And this is important in marriage. So that is why it is important for you to actually continue to write love notes to each other. And one way you can write love notes to each other beyond using the traditional paper and pen is on social media. So what do you send to each other? On WhatsApp, on Telegram, and the host of others. What do you actually send to each other during the day? Do you send nice words? Do you affirm each other? Do you tell each other that I love you? These are things that are very, very important, and it helps your marriage to be sweeter, because romance is a very, very important part of marriage and you shouldn't throw it away. And Mr. Remy says, I'm sending a love message to my spouse now via SMS. I guess it's SMS you wanted to say there. That's lovely. I'm so happy that you are doing that. Great. So, what your spouse is not telling you is a must read. Yes, thank you so much, Ma. That book is a must read. You must read that book. It is very, very important. It is extremely important. Let's move on. The fourth thing is that social media allows for transparency and openness. So it allows your spouse to see what you are doing real time, like I said. You can put on your video, do your FaceTime, do your WhatsApp calls, and your spouse sees exactly what it is that you are doing at time. Now, this is a very, very important and very, very powerful way of your spouse knowing you. Let me put it that way. So your spouse knows you when you are with him or her and when you are not with him or her. Very, very powerful. That's what technology has done. That's what social media in technology has done. So it is so good. Technology is powerful. Have you invited somebody by technology, by social media, to come and join us here? I know that there are many people on your radar that you can invite. I need you to send this link to them. It's free. So send this link to about 10 people right now so that they can come and learn what you are learning here also and use it to better their marriage. So yes, social media can serve as modern love letter. Now, these are the aspects of social media that are positive. Of course, there are many others, but these four things are very, very important in social media. In fact, you can add a fifth one and say that it helps you to send messages faster. You know how it is that you are on a chat and you are able to send, you can even send a presentation and quickly deliberate on the chat and say, this is what we need to do. So as a couple, husband and wife, you are in the market somewhere buying something and you are trying to make a decision and you want it right now. And just making a phone call may be difficult. So you want to show videos. So it makes things faster. So you just do a video and say, okay, so there's the red, the blue, the black. Which one should we get? And you're showing your spouse right there live. And your spouse is picking it up and your spouse is making the decision and saying, get this one and get that one. So this is brilliant. This is good. This is important. All right, let's move on. Now we want to look at the negative aspects of social media. What are those negative aspects of social media? Now follow me. Because again, remember that we spend a lot of time on social media nowadays. And this is actually affecting our marriages because the time we're supposed to spend with each other, we are spending it on social media. We're spending it on social media. So let's look at the negative aspects of social media. Number one, it can be a source of conflict. Social media for a couple can be a source of conflict because misunderstandings can arise from ambiguous posts, comments, So you are just looking, and then you just see that your wife commented on something. Maybe it was even something you posted, and then the comment was not what you were expecting, and then it just brings a conflict. You come back and you say, how can you post this on my social media platform? How can you respond? And then your spouse is just saying, no, but it was an innocent response. Why are you reading out of context? Before you know what's happening, it has caused a conflict. So social media can actually be a source of conflict in marriage, a very serious source of conflict. I've had people who have said that, oh, this picture that you posted on social media, I didn't permit you to post this family picture on social media. And it becomes a big problem. So one person just picked a family's picture or a moment in the house and just thought, oh, this is a funny moment, let me share it on social media. And maybe in that moment, you people are wearing singlet, boxers, you are not really dressed for social media. And then it goes up because of lack of control. Some of us, our hand, we just, before you know what's happening, social media, social media. So when that kind of thing happens, it can cause a very big conflict in the marriage where one spouse is feeling overexposed unnecessarily. It might even be an innocent comment on something that is not your spouse that posted it, a trending issue. Then you just go under and put a comment, and your spouse looks at the comment and says, is this your mindset? Is this how you think? Is this what you are turning our home into? Maybe there was a post that says, wife beats husband, to pulp. Then another wife now just comes and posts under that post and says, that serves him right. Then the husband reads it and says, okay, so are you saying that if you beat me, it's okay? Is that what you're trying to say? And before you know what's happening, a conflict. So social media can actually be a source of conflict. Number two, the pure nature of social media can put pressure on couples to portray a perfect relationship. So pressure to portray a perfect relationship. Why? Because you are out in the public. And so because you're out in the public, you start posting things that don't even exist. Both of you are now posting a life that does not happen. Have you seen those funny memes where somebody is doing a video like he's in a private jet, only for them to do a widening of the video, and then you see the person is just sitting on a normal chair and somebody is blowing air like AC, and then there's a glass that someone is holding up. So now that's the lie of social media. So on social media, you can actually portray anything. And because you're so far away, people can't just verify there and then. So there's a lot of that kind of information out. And then you have people who are trying to fashion their marriages that way, when truly there are issues with the marriage. So social media is a very, very powerful tool, and it can mess up your relationship by putting pressure on you in the marriage. The next one, number 3, is that overuse of social media can reduce face-to-face interaction. Overuse of social media can reduce face-to-face interaction. So when you use social media so much, you forget that there's a human being, a complete human being with head, legs, hands, shoulders, stomach. Complete human being right beside you. And you see that I've had cases, as a counselor, I've had cases of people coming to me to say, my husband only communicates to me by social media. In the house, they're in the same house. The husband is sending messages to the wife on social media. The wife is sending messages to the husband on social media. And I'm not saying you are forwarding messages. So you are communicating and saying, tomorrow I'm going to be late because I have a meeting. And the person is sitting down beside you. So that overuse of social media can actually reduce face-to-face interactions. And in marriage, face-to-face interactions, too important. If you have face-to-face interactions in marriage, it will help your marriage. But if you don't, social media will crumble your marriage because you are now communicating with each other on social media much more than you are communicating face to face. It should be the other way around. Number 5 or number 4 now. Social media can breed jealousy and insecurity. Yes, social media can breed jealousy and insecurity. So it's your birthday and people are sending you messages. And there are, a lot of people who maybe you don't know, your spouse doesn't know. Everybody is sending you messages. And somebody just goes, maybe you're a man, somebody just goes and says, "Have a lovely day, my dear." It's just "my dear," the person added though. Your husband will say, "Who is," you're trying to say, "Oh, you're not talking to, your wife." You're not talking to your wife and saying, "Oh, wow, see so many messages on social media. I haven't had a message, from Felicia." And then she asks, "Who is Felicia? Who is she to you? Why is she saying happy birthday, dear? Why is she adding the dear there? Why didn't she just stop at happy birthday?" You can see where insecurity is growing, jealousy is building. Jealousy is building. So social media can actually mess up your marriage because it will breed jealousy. And there are so many people out there that can say a lot of rubbish. Some people don't know you from Adam. They just come under your post and just tell you, "I really love you, my dear darling boyfriend. I wish you can wrap your hands around me right now." You don't know the person from Adam. But social media is a free space. Anybody can say anything on social media. No restrictions. No restrictions. And that's why it is too important for you to caution your use of social media, because it can actually lead to jealousy. There'll be suspicion, unnecessary suspicion. And you haven't even met this person before. And God help you, you now continue to converse with this person. And your spouse continues to see you conversing with another person of the opposite sex that none of you actually know. My wife says, "Who is Felicia?" Yeah, that's how it happens. So you need to be very, very mindful of your use of social media. Number 5, there is that tendency to compare one's relationship with others based on what social media is portraying. That's close to what we said, the pressure. So you start comparing, especially people that you know. You say, "These people, we got married together. Look at them in their new house." And you don't even know if that house, they were just visiting an uncle's house. You have no idea if they were just at a photo shoot. You just see them and you just assume, and then you start putting pressure on each other and saying, "No, we're not doing enough. We're not," and unnecessary things, forgetting that life is step by step, step by step. So there's that tendency to compare your relationship with others. Somebody says, "Yes, that's true. When I look at my spouse social media, not a single picture of me, I get so angry and start thinking different things." So jealousy will be, and you are wondering why. Yes, my dear, this my dear issue is a very a husband came to me once. They came to me counseling, a husband and a wife. And the husband said, "I don't know why my wife is making so much fuss on this word dear. That my dear is a general word. There's nothing to it." I said, "Sir, if your husband, your wife has something against my dear, please tell the people to stop using my dear. It's her right." If she decides that you are the only one that is her dear, and she's the only one that is your dear, please, sir, for peace to reign, don't argue it. That is how she wants it. So let her have it. All right, so let's move on. The last one, negative aspect of social media is negative knowledge. Negative knowledge. Do you know what negative knowledge is? Negative knowledge are things that come up that are not true or that are misleading. Now, because social media is a free for all, it's an open market, someone can just come online and tell you 5 ways to make your husband answer you. And what the person posts there are things that will destroy your marriage totally. And the person doesn't care. The person is just trying to drive traffic. and he will truly drive traffic. And the other day, I saw one person recruiting people for one satanic, what did he say? He said he has formed a new church or something, and people were actually registering. And I was like, my God, is it that people cannot see what is happening? The guy was just drawing traffic to himself. So people come on social media and say all sorts of things. I've seen some people who claim they are marriage counselors, and some of the things they put on social media, I'm like, what? You hear people saying that if your relationship is not doing okay, maybe you should try having an affair. What? But it's social media. Anything goes. Anything goes. So we need to be very careful with social media. These are some of the negative aspects of social media. Now let us now look at the conclusion of the matter. How do you now use social media? So we've spoken about all the negativity, we've spoken about the positive parts of social media, spoken about the negative parts of social media. Now, can we talk about how to now use social media properly? We're going to get to this in just 1 minute, but as we do that right now, let's just take this short water break, and we're going to be back to tell you how to use social media respectively. 2 minutes, and we will be back.
What's the meaning of this? Did you just sweep my leg? This woman, are you stupid? Why did you sweep my leg? What's the meaning of this? It seems that something is wrong with you upstairs, and I brought you from the village. What's nonsense?
And this is how anger actually works in many marriages. You know, WHO has statistics that 1 in every 3 women get assaulted by an intimate husband. And this assault is because that husband has not been able to manage his anger. A lot of the anger issues we have stem from our backgrounds. You find out that some people were raised by angry parents, and this has in turn affected their marriage. And that's why it's important for you to understand how to manage anger. Manage your own anger, manage the anger of your spouse. This you can get by knowledge. And we have a course coming up, Anger Management in Marriage. It's coming up in June. You should register for that course to manage your anger, manage the anger of your spouse, and also help to manage the marriage. All right, great. I'm happy to be back, and I hope you were able to take that water break as we continue on this beautiful topic on how social media affects your marriage. And we've spoken about the positives of social media. We've also spoken about the negatives of social media. Now, let us speak about how to use social media responsibly. And did you see that advert? Yes, we have a course that is coming up in June, and that course is Anger Management in Marriage. And yes, marriage has a lot of issues, and one of the issues is anger. When there's anger in marriage, it can break your marriage, can mess your marriage up, especially when that anger is not controlled. Anger is an emotion. Anybody can have that emotion. But what do you do with that emotion? Now, that's the important part. So you should register for this course. There's an early bird fee right now of 15,000 naira instead of 20,000 naira. And you can quickly grab that, okay, and see the details on your screen. Register for the course, and let's come and discuss how to manage anger in your marriage. Now, how do you use social media responsibly? How will you use social media responsibly? Let's take a look at some things. Number 1, be transparent about online activities. Be transparent about online activities. When you are online, don't hide. That's what we're saying. Your phone should not be on permanent lockdown. You know, when you lock your phone, you have 2-factor authentication, you have code, you have face. It's almost like Fort Knox. What is the problem, sir? Release your phone. Now, I'm not saying that you should now go and be poking into your spouse's phone, because for me, that is just you being insecure. But I'm saying that when you overlock your phone, your spouse feels you are hiding something. So why not just leave it open, or let her even have the pin? Let him have the pin. And that's not again to say that that person should now go and start looking for things in the phone, but it just gives that air of there's nothing for you to see. For some of you, your social media platforms are locked. People cannot see. Or you block some people, you block your spouse quietly. So your spouse tries to get on your social media. Your spouse can't see what you are doing on social media, can't see your activities. Your spouse complains to you and you say, no, it must be a mistake. Other people have been complaining too. And you know that you are the one that blocked her or blocked him. So don't do that. It is very, very important that you ensure that you are transparent about your online activities. Closely related to that, number 2 is share your passwords. Share your passwords. Like I said, don't lock it. And then apart from, even if you have to lock it for maybe official reasons, some of you are using your official things on your phone. There are some apps that you need to lock your phone. They will insist that you lock your phone if you are using it. That's fine. But let your spouse know my wife has always known the pin to my phone. I've always known the pin to her own. There's nothing to hide. Please be completely open to each other. And with all this knowing that we've known each other's access, we don't pick each other's phones to go and see who are you talking to. No. If I pick my wife's phone, most of the time is to take pictures, because when we go out, she takes more pictures than I do. So most of the time, it is to take pictures from that phone. That's all. Other than that, I don't have any business with the phone. Sometimes she even tells me, oh, can you help me post this on my phone? That's the only time we access each other's phones. So we don't go pop nosing, but the phones are completely open. So everybody's mind is addressed. All this one that your heart is up once you are not at home, or once you left your phone at home, then you can't rest again. You're hyperventilating. You're thinking and saying, hey, has my wife taken my phone? Has my husband touched my phone? You're even racing from the office. Instead of you to, leave the phone till you come back, you are racing from the office. You take excuse from your boss and tell him it's a family emergency, and you race home to go and take that your phone. My God, what do you have on your phone? So share your passwords. It will help. Somebody said some people even have Google passkey after password and screen lock. So additional. You're giving yourself unnecessary high blood pressure. Look, my wife and I, we've never gone to the hospital that they said there's high blood pressure or anything. We don't have high blood pressure. What is bringing the high blood pressure in you is all the hiding that you're trying to do, all the hide and seek. It's going to kill you faster. Just be open. Share your passwords. It will help your life. Number 3, discuss online interactions and draw boundaries. When somebody has talked to you online inappropriately, please tell your spouse that I got a chat, a text, a message, a DM from somebody that either I know or I do not know, and this is what the person said. It helps you to be accountable, because the truth of the matter is that those guys online, they will lure you, and once you start talking, before you know what's happening, you've started having an emotional affair with the person. Before you know what's happening, you have actually met the person and you have had a physical affair with the person. So draw boundaries. There are some things you tell me on social media, I block you. Without apology. You start telling me, oh, you are such a handsome man. You are the kind of person that I want as a husband. I block you. I don't say, oh, well, thank you for the compliment. That is not a compliment. Don't tell me that. My wife is already telling me. Go and tell the other people that are married. Why are you telling me? I block you straight up, and I tell my wife. So you must learn to discuss online transactions with your spouse and draw boundaries. Very important, draw boundaries. All right. Somebody said, oh, I like this. Somebody said, it is safer to be open. I have forgotten my password and I had a bailout from my husband. So, even in emergency situations, you see people's phones. Somebody is dying. They are trying to access his phone. They cannot access the phone because the locks are too many. And in his dying state, he only remembers to tell them one. They open it before he faints, and the guy goes to heaven or maybe hell because of locking phone. What is the problem? Kilo day. Release yourself, eh? It will help your life. All right, let's move on. The next one. Be open about social media usage. Be open. It's almost the same thing as being transparent. So be open. Use it in the presence of your wife. Even help your husband or your wife to do some posts. Be open. Number 5, celebrate each other on social media. Yeah, this is very important. Please celebrate your husband on social media. Celebrate your wife on social media. It is wrong for you to celebrate your boss on social media. Then it's time for your wife or your husband's birthday. You are not celebrating. Already, your spouse is going to start feeling jealous. You are causing a rift for yourself. So celebrate yourselves on social media. Very, very important. Someone says they should keep their compliments to themselves. Yes, keep it. My spouse is enough to compliment me. There are some kind of compliments you just know that this person is trying to, you're an adult. So when people tell me, oh, I didn't know this person was really, chasing after me. I didn't know the person was flirting with me. I say, come on, excuse me, excuse you. So when you know that somebody is trying to flirt with you, block the person. Don't smile. Block. Thank you, Osazi. Block the person. All right, let's move on. The next one, number 6, monitor the time you use on social media. Monitor the time you use on social media. Some of you, if you ever sit down to calculate the time you use on social media, you'll find out that in a day, you probably use maybe 5 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours on social media. I tell you the truth. There are people who even use up to 12 hours on social media. That you don't recognize is that long because it's 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, 20 minutes here, 10 minutes there. By the time you put everything together in a day, you find out that you've used half of your day on social media. And it's not that you are working. That's the annoying part. You're not working. You are just watching reels, watching TikTok, watching IG Live, watching things that are irrelevant with irrelevant people. So put a monitor. Most of your phones you can put online checkers on your phone. So it will tell you how much time you spend online. Activate it on your phone. It will help you. Maybe when you see how much time, it will move you to start reducing it. I have time that I go on social media. Of course, my work is on social media. So I have time for everything on social media when I go to check and things like that. You should create that kind of structure for yourself. It will help you. All right. Let's move on. Intentionally create quality time, daily quality time with your spouse. Intentionally create daily quality time with your spouse. This is important. So have a time daily. And for those of you who are in the couples conclave, of course, we always do this. So in case you don't know what it is, the couples conclave is the annual program of the Marriage Seal Academy. And we run this from January to November of every year. This year, we have over 500 couples. That's over 1,000 people joining from all over the world. And we come together as a community to build each other in marriage. We hold each other's hands and walk in marriage. And this helps everybody to build or to swim inside that culture of the marriage that we have. So you need to join us if you are not yet part of us. I'm sure there are conclavites here. Conclavites, hi. We call ourselves conclavites, people in the couples conclave. So you need to join us for the 2026 and see what happens there. Every day we post daily tips on marriage. Every week we give you activities that you do with your spouse so that you can bond. Every month we give you a master class on marriage. Every other month we read a book and review it on marriage. We do one, the only physical part of the couples conclave is the retreat. So we do a real life retreat in a resort once every year. Yeah, last year was in Ekpe Resort. This year is going to be in Uyo. The year before it was in Abuja in the Zuma Rock Resort. So we always choose very nice places to have that few nights and days of just you and your spouse together with other couples and have a very lovely time. And then, of course, you get discounts on all our or most of our courses that we actually run. These are some of the benefits of being in the couples conclave. But most of all, it teaches you how to stay with your husband, stay with your wife, and actually build a marriage by communicating regularly. In fact, in the couples conclave, we say that you must have a 1 hour gisting time with your spouse every day. 1 hour every day, sit down and gist with your spouse every single day. And the conclavites are already making noise. Yes, they're there in the building. Hello, conclavites. Yes, yes, yes. We are many. We are many all around the world. We are plenty. We are everywhere. I mean, everywhere you can think of, we are there. The conclavites are there. And I greet every one of you that is there. You should book for the couples conclave. And you want to get more details about the couples conclave, reach out to the numbers that are scrolling on your screen right now. Check this same YouTube channel. You have the adverts that are there up that you can see the details of what the couples conclave is all about. It's a beautiful place for any married person to be. All right, so let's move on. Somebody says, somebody is saying, I just went to pick up my husband's missing phone some minutes ago. It fell from him on his way out, and the only reason we got reached to pick it up was because the phone was not passworded. Boom. So that helps you guys. All right, great. And my beautiful wife says, join the couples conclave and have your marriage rejuvenated. That's, you see the way I'm smiling? That's how we all smile in the couples conclave. All of us, we are plenty. I mean, there are too many conclavites that are in the building. Let's move on. Number 8, do not post everything on social media. Sir, ma, don't post everything. Some of you post your whole life. You wake up in the morning. You say, I just woke up this morning. Can you see my face? You are brushing your teeth. I'm just brushing my teeth right now. You are in the toilet sitting down. Huh? And I'm just sitting down on the toilet. Where will it stop? Where will the boundaries be? It's not everything you must post on social media. Some of the things that you post on social media are even dangerous for you. Yes, showing your children's school, showing the name of your children's school, they are dangerous for you. Let's be careful. Let's have boundaries. If you're a content creator, okay, fine, you're a content creator. But now everybody wants to be a content creator. And you are risking your life and risking your marriage also. So please, don't post everything, just anything on social media. It will mess your marriage. There is the post you will post that your husband will chase you out of the house. There's the one you will post that your wife will just pack her things and move. Let's be careful. Social media has been the downfall of many marriages because they don't know how to manage it. All right, let's move on. Number 9, recognize that social media is like a street market. So don't believe everything that you see on social media. You know how a street market is? They just show you different wares. Some of them, they tell you this is designer. You know that is not designer. Designer that they sell 500,000. Then somebody is carrying on the street with the same name and telling you come and pay 50,000. And you too, you want to believe him? No, you won't now. That's how it is on social media. Anybody posts just anything. And so you need to understand this and you need to ensure that social media is monitored. And then finally, number 10, learn effective communication. Read, do courses, increase your knowledge, because if you have better communication, I promise you it will help your marriage. And that's why it's important that you get the books, like we said, grab this copy of this book, What Your Spouse Is Not Telling You. It will really, really do a lot of good for you. And also, this anger management course. It's something that you should register for. For details of any of this, please reach out on to the numbers that are scrolling on your screen, and they'll give you all the details of everything that you need to know. My name has been Kunle Ologe, is still Kunle Ologe, will still be Kunle Ologe, and this has been Friday Live. And I'm sure that you have picked one or two things today from what we have learned here. I encourage you to continue to manage your social media usage and ensure that it doesn't encroach into your marriage and mess your marriage up. This is where we're going to be signing out today. We've had a nice time. I've had a nice time with you guys, and I'm sure you've had a very, very lovely time here also. We see ourselves again on Friday, next Friday, where we'll be bringing you another very juicy topic on marriage and the things that you can do to make it better. As I leave you today, I leave you with some details of the Couples Conclave program, and please watch and learn. God bless you. Please enjoy. The Couples Conclave is that 11-month accountability and rejuvenation program of the Marriage Seal Academy. In this program, we bring couples together from all over the world to join hands, learn, and be taught on the things that you need to do to make sure your marriage is always on fire. It begins every year in January all through to November of the same year. We take a break in December and start again the next January. One of the things that you get to do in the Couples Conclave is that every single day there is a tip on marriage that is shared to all the couples. Every week we have a bonding activity that helps couples to come together and bond. Every month we give one master class on one particular aspect of marriage. And once every year we have a physical retreat where we take ourselves to a resort and have a nice time for a few days. We've had retreats in Abuja, in Lagos, and we're going to have the next one in Uyo. Over the past 4 years that we have had this Couples Conclave, we've had a lot of testimonials from couples who come in as maybe fighters in some cases, and then they eventually become lovers because they've come to learn what it is that they have not known on marriage. There's so much that you can learn in marriage, and the Couples Conclave creates that community where you can come and create that culture of the right marriage, the way God ordained it to be. My name is Kunle Ologe, marriage counselor, founder of the Marriage Seal Academy, and I am the chief host of the Couples Conclave. Join us for the 2026 Couples Conclave program. Registration details are immediately after this. Please enjoy. So my two new books, What Your Spouse Is Not Telling You and Marriage Stories, had a flash sale, and that flash sale was just for 24 hours where you could get the book before it comes out on the 23rd of May at a reduced price. Well, that flash sale is over, but we are now in the pre-order phase, and in this pre-order phase you can still pay for the book at a reduced price. So instead of the launch price that will be 16,000 naira for both books, you can pay for the books for just 14,000 naira. So you'll still be saving 2,000 naira if you pay now before the launch date of the 23rd of May. You can get all the details of that immediately after this. I hope that you do join in this pre-order and be one of the first to get the book when it comes out. There are many decisions to make in life, like choosing the right school, picking a career path, or even crossing the street. These are moments that shape your journey. But there is one decision, one choice that stands above the rest. Who will you marry? You can make mistakes along the way, you can take detours, and you can always rise again. But when it comes to choosing a life partner, there's no room for mistakes. This is a decision that will impact every aspect of your life, and it is one you can't afford to get wrong. Are you dreaming of the perfect marriage? It's time to wake up and start building that dream. Marriage isn't always a fairy tale. You can create a beautiful, lasting partnership. Avoid the heartbreaks, the uncertainties, and the regret by arming yourself with the tools for success. Take the first step towards a marriage built on a solid foundation. Register now for premarital counseling by the Married Seal Academy. Knowledge is the key to the love you've always dreamed about.